What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so this is a requested video. Someone wanted me to do a comparison between Mike D'Antoni and Rick Carlisle. And both of them have been one of the more well-regarded coaches of the past 20 years in the NBA. Of course, Mike D'Antoni is known for his 7 seconds or less offense, notably seen with the Steve Nash Phoenix Suns and the James Harden Houston Rockets in the second half of the 2000 teens. Rick Carlisle, a former NBA player, Mike D'Antoni also played basketball, but primarily, I think, over in Italy or in Europe. Rick Carlisle played in the NBA, wasn't a great player, was a role player. I remember him best, or he's remembered best, for being a member of the 1986 Boston Celtics, one of the greatest teams of all time. After his NBA career concluded, he transitioned into coaching. He was one of the assistants serving Larry Bird between 1997 and 2000, when he was the head coach of the Indiana Pacers. All right. Then Rick Carlisle himself ascended to head coaching status, ultimately coaching the, I believe it was the Pacers back in the day. Then he went to Dallas, I'm not mistaken, and coached them, ultimately winning the championship in 2011, the high point of his coaching career. And now I think now he's back with the Indiana Pacers. So let's do a resume comparison as far as coaching is concerned. All right, so let's start with Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni began his coaching career in 1990 overseas. Then from 97 to 98, he was an assistant. During that season, assistant in Denver. I can't remember who was coached in. I want to say it was Dan Essel. I'm not sure. Can't remember. 98, 99, the 50-game schedule year, he was the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, I believe. Next couple of years, he drifted either as an assistant in the NBA, sometimes going back overseas, coaching for stretches. But then he became the assistant coach to, I believe it was Cotton Fitzsimmons during 2002-2003 season. And then he became head coach the very next year, 2003. And that's when D'Antoni asserted himself as one of the more successful and exciting coaches to watch, especially during the regular season with the Steve Nash Suns. Then from 2008-2012, he was head coach to the Knicks. Then from 2012 to 2014, coach the Lakers. Did not have that much success with these franchises. He was an associate head coach with the Sixers for one season. And then from 2016-2020, he was the head coach of the Rockets. His last job in the NBA was as an assistant with the Brooklyn Nets under Steve Nash, I believe it was, in 2020-21. As a head coach, he's a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year, 2-time NBA All-Star Game head coach. Well, I guess I'll name this. This isn't NBA, but NBCA Co-Coach of the Year in 2017, 2-time Italian League champion coaching, 97 and 2002, 2-time Italian Super Cup winner as a coach, 2001-2002, Italian Cup winner in 1995, Supporter Cup champion 95, Korak Cup champion in 1993. And he won gold as an assistant coach in the Olympics in Beijing in 2008 and in London in 2012. A FIBA World Champion as an assistant coach in the United States in 2006 in Japan, and FIBA Americas Championship 2007 in Las Vegas. As far as his coaching career, as far as his overall record, let's see if I can pull that up. During the regular season, he's 672 and 527 for a 560 win percentage, but he's below 500 in the postseason with a 54-56 record. Now on to Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle, as far as his head coaching career is concerned, he was an assistant with the Nets, the then New Jersey Nets, for 5 years, from 89 to 94. He was assistant in Portland in 94, serving as an assistant until 97. Then he received a lot of praise as an assistant coach to Larry Bird from 97 to 2000. Then he was the head coach. I forget that he coached the Pistons sometimes. He was the head coach of the Pistons for 2 years. I forgot that. From 2001 to 2003. He coached the Pacers from 2003 to 2007. Coached the Mavericks for the longest stretch of his career tenure, 2008 to 2021. Then friction between him and Luka Doncic led to him, I believe, resigning as a head coach. And since 2021, he's been the head coach of the Pacers. His resume as a coach: NBA champion 2011, NBA Coach of the Year 2002, NBA All-Star Game head coach 2004. His overall coaching record in the NBA is now 943 victories versus 828 defeats, 532 win percentage, and a 71 and 79 overall record in the postseason, 473. Now, who's the greater coach? To me, man, look, it's all about championships, okay? To me, it's about championships. So, Rick Carlisle has a championship with the Dallas Mavericks. So that puts him, you know what I'm saying, in the driver's seat when it comes to who's the better coach. He's the more successful one. Look, Mike D'Antoni had a lot of regular season success, but I've always felt like the D'Antoni system is not conducive to winning. It doesn't emphasize defense, and you can't rely on outscoring people and not playing defense, not emphasizing defense. Okay, even if you have a team that's not, made up or composed of individual great defenders, we've seen teams play great overall team defense and still get the job done at a high level. It takes discipline, it takes repetition, it takes unity in that situation, communication. We saw a lot of that with the Dallas Mavericks in 2011, the team that he coached, obviously. Mike D'Antoni has lost series that he should have won. In particular, in 2008 with the Rockets, they should have won that series. May also recall that the Phoenix Suns struggled to defeat the Kobe Lakers in the mid-2000s when they really weren't all that good. So I have to give it to Rick Carlisle. I just think he's better. Rick Carlisle, his strengths is that he works with the talent that he has. He assesses the talent, works to the strengths of the team. He preaches defense, something that Mike D'Antoni doesn't. And I think that's the reason why Mike D'Antoni, if you can argue this point, while they both have coached talent, you could argue Mike D'Antoni has coached more talent. A little bit. He's coached more talent overall than Rick Carlisle. I mean, when you look at those Pistons teams and those Pacers teams, they weren't super overloaded with talent. They were talented, but they weren't these super talented teams. Rick Carlisle, I got to emphasize this again. Mike D'Antoni should not have lost in 2018 with the Rockets. The Rockets should have won. The Rockets should have at the very least went to the finals. But, yeah, that's my answer. It's Rick Carlisle. He's the better coach. I thought that he did better. He did more with more talent. And then there were stretches where Rick Carlisle didn't have these great teams. When Dirk got older, those Dallas teams weren't all that good before, Luka Doncic was available. That's my answer, at least. I got to go with Rick Carlisle. Tell me what you guys think.